Hey guys, Brandon here from All About DIY with another video for you. I got a little sneak peek in the background of the big tank and its progress so far, so I'll let you guys take a little look at that real quick, and then we're actually going to do a little bit of a fish room tour, if you want to say it like that. It's not really a fish room, it's more like a fish wall, but nonetheless it's all of my fish that I have right now. All the tanks are in one area, so I figured why not show you guys what I got going on right now and kind of some of the stuff that I feed them. And yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, see you in a sec. Okay, so here's the big tank as she lies. It's on the ground. The reason I have it on the ground is because, sorry it's kind of dark in there, I need to get some more light to really tell, but we got another video coming out on this anyway, so it doesn't have to be too thorough. So anyways, she's on the ground right now because I need to repair this whole top plank on here because it's all bubbled up and it's just not good. You can see where the tank has just gotten wet and sunk down into this board. And you can see, where the edges are swelled right there. And just as you move along, it just kind of doesn't get any better. And I don't want to put a big glass tank like this on a stand that looks like that. So I'm going to replace these top boards on here, lay my silicone down on the tank, and then we'll get it back up here and then we'll set it up again. I'm going to have another video coming out, like I said, about this, and then at the end I'm going to ask you guys what you think I should put in here, because I still don't know if I'm going to put the the Tanganyikan cichlids back in here, or if I'm going to do some sort of like South American planted style, dirted maybe. I'm not really sure, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Anyways, let's get on to the fish room tour. Alright, here we go. Let's go check it out. Alright, so here we are. This is the garage. This is where I have all my tanks, as I said earlier, and I like it like this because I don't have to, drag buckets back and forth if I'm doing something, and I don't have to, feed in 5 different areas, and it's just nice to have everything condensed. Eventually I want to tear this whole wall over here down and build a permanent rack, and I can get all the tanks set up exactly how they're supposed to be, and get them on a drip system, on a sump system, and just really do it once, do it right, and I think it'll be much more enjoyable that way. So that's some future plans coming up. But right here, first off, we'll start with this tank. This is a 55-gallon tank, and this is where all of the fish that came out of the 400-gallon when it leaked went into. This is kind of an emergency setup. It's nothing pretty. It's just got the canister filter off the big tank on here for now. And as you can see, there's some baby Burchardi kind of hanging out. There's probably about 100 of them in here. They're not out right now, of course, but I'm sure if I feed them in a sec here, they'll come out. So we'll take another look at this tank when we do that. But yeah, the trophies are doing good. I lost a lot to bloat, which is unfortunate, but I just wasn't feeding, the correct diet, and, stuff happens and you learn and move on. So that's a bummer, but it is what it is. There's actually another breeding pair of Burchardi in the back of the tank back there doing their thing. And then I got my 2 Neolamprologus Compressiceps in here as well. And everyone's just kind of getting along, doing their thing, so shouldn't be too bad for them. I'm honestly thinking about keeping them in here, but we'll see. Over here, these are some of the more advanced babies as far as how far they've come along. They're about 1 inch long, and I'm going to be looking to sell these guys here pretty soon. So I don't know if the fish store is going to buy them, but if anybody wants any, let me know. I got them by the handful. And then let's go to this other tank here. This is the 110-gallon tank that we resealed a couple months back. It houses 3 of my Oscars, a Jack Dempsey, a convict parrotfish hybrid, which I'm not a fan of parrotfish, and convicts are okay, I guess, but I don't like parrotfish, so sorry to all you parrotfish lovers out there. But anyways, he was my cousin's fish, and they were going to flush him because he killed everything, so I decided to take him and put him in here, and he's been good so far. There's also a Synodontis catfish in there we call Spot, as you can see right there, and there's a, just your large standard size pleco in there as well. But yeah, these guys like it better in the bigger tank. It still could go bigger, but they get a 30% water change once a week, and they eat some good food, so they're not bummed out, I promise you that. So anyways, next tank. This is my 30-gallon turtle tank. She is a red-eared slider. She's actually going to a pond here pretty soon, so I'm not going to upgrade her tank size. She's fine in there, and she gets new water all the time, and all kinds of good fish and lettuce and cucumber and all kinds of stuff. So she's fine for now, but you know, again, too small of a tank, so gotta use what you got. So there's that, but she's happy, she's cool. And last tank in here is the 75-gallon. Like, it's kind of just a mixed South American tank, and I've actually got some clown loaches in there too. And the Synodontis catfish that came out of the 400-gallon are in there as well. But I just kind of, I changed it up. I ended up breaking the dang internal trickle filter that I made a video on when I was servicing it one time, being careless. So I ended up tearing it all out and throwing some trusty hang on the backs on here. And so it's been doing good. Replanted some stuff. I don't know if I'll hook the CO2 back up on this or not. I kind of like it just kind of wood and sparse plants. Got some angelfish in here, got some geophagus in here, cories, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I like this tank a lot. It's looking pretty good. Right now it's a little dim. I got the nighttime LEDs on. But yeah, so that's what I got. And I'm liking it. I got some honey grommies in there too. I forgot to mention that. But this is what I feed them. Let me click the light on here real quick. And I don't do this every day, but there's some spinach, some lettuce, and some cucumbers that are going to go in the big tanks for the plecos. And the lettuce and stuff I'll feed Fred. And for the bigger tank with the big boys, we got tilapia, shrimp, mysis, and bloodworms. Probably mix in a little bit of the bloodworms in the South American tank too. I feed the Oscars and stuff food sticks, the carny ones. I like those a lot. They work good. They seem to love them. Feed the turtle and the big boys red shrimp as well, which are extremely expensive for that thing, but whatever, they like it. I've been feeding the Tropheus this cobalt spirulina stuff with probiotic. It works really well. It's I haven't had a problem with it since, and I recommend this to anyone who's keeping Tropheus. They love it, and it works great. And of course, Omega-1 Super Veggie Flakes, love those. Some New Life Spectrum, good stuff, and then more than just the turtle pellets and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. It's fairly cheap for what you get. And yeah, so let's feed these guys and perk them up a little bit, shall we? Okay, let's feed the turtle first. Again, we're doing some lettuce, zucchini, and some spinach. Maybe a little fish too, what the heck. Alright. She likes her some lettuce. Alright, next up is the big tank. Again, we're feeding them some of this, mysis shrimp. We got bloodworms, tilapia, and shrimp. Regular shrimp, just store-bought. As you can see, they go crazy over it. And what's nice about the mysis shrimp and the bloodworms and stuff like that, the smaller stuff, is it goes to the bottom and they can't all pick it up, so the catfish will get it, the pleco will get it. It's just works out better that way. That way everybody gets the same amount of food, Alright, they're good. Put a couple little shrimps in there, and then we'll put the cucumber chunk in there for them. And then I just stab it with a screwdriver. I know to some it might not sound like the most sanitary thing in the world, but this is a brand new screwdriver, and it's all good. That way it'll sink. Instead of trying to tie a rock to it or something like that, it's just easier that way for me. Then I can just grab the screwdriver out tomorrow. No worries. So that's them. That's their diet for the most part. Alright, next up is the South American tank. We're just going to give them some bloodworms and some mysis shrimp. They don't get this every day, but, you know, every once in a while you just gotta feed them some good stuff. Alright. Put a couple of flakes in there and they'll be good. A little bit of the New Life Spectrum, Thera Plus. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, and then last, we put the cucumber in, and it's pretty simple. You just kind of stick it in here. You don't really want to drop it in because it might land on a fish, but kind of set it in like that somewhere where the plecos like to be, and then they'll just have at it. Again, grab the screwdriver out in the morning and you're good to go as long as your screwdriver is good and clean. So that is it for that tank. Let's move on to the 55. Alright, here's the 55. These guys get cobalt flake food, and I kind of just sprinkle some bigger flakes in for the bigger fish, and then afterwards I'll grind a bunch of it to like a powder between my fingers, so that way the fry gets some easy to eat flakes and stuff like that, and just kind of swish my hand in something like that and it kind of floats all around the tank and get a chance to eat. So you'll start seeing them come out more and more. Let's see if we can zoom in here a little bit. You can see them kind of all scurrying around on the bottom there. They'll start to come out now. Zoom in a little bit more. There we go. So it's kind of cool to watch them eat. The parents are extremely protective. I'll probably do a species profile on these guys here coming up soon. I don't recommend them for a big tank like I had them in mind, because they would just take over in a year. So probably not the best idea, but a species-specific tank for just Burchardi, if you're looking to do something like that, would be really good, because it's really rewarding, excuse me. Because they breed readily as long as you feed them well and change their water, and the water's good and hard. They like that, and it's just fun fish to watch. Anyways, let's skip on to the little baby fry tank, and then we're done. Alright, and last but certainly not least is the larger of the fry tank, and I'll just kind of grind up some cobalt between my fingers and feed these guys. Just something like that, kind of swish it around a little bit, and they'll come right out and grab it. That will conclude the fish room / wall tour. I hope I showed everything sufficiently, and you kind of get a scope for how I feed my fish. The lettuce and the more high-class DIY foods, I don't feed them every day. It's more of like a flake pellet type food, just because it keeps the cost down, and just you got to do what you got to do. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and you guys take it easy. Later.